this afternoon. But right now, we go to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. We head to Detroit, Michigan to visit with Isaac Ukwu, who was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Detroit Lions. Isaac, first of all, congratulations. You've been working a long time for this opportunity, and now you're with an NFL team. That's got to feel good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I mean, it's a dream come true to finally see all that hard work pay off and finally be able to see that NFL logo, be able to wear the NFL logo and go out there and compete. I mean, I'm blessed.
Isaac, what did you know going into the draft, and what was that weekend like for you? Because everybody has that dream of having their name called from the stage, by the commissioner or one of the people from the NFL. That doesn't happen, but then you immediately get that opportunity to still pursue your dream. What was it like?
Obviously, like you said, everyone wants to hear their name called, but I had a pretty good idea going into the draft that me getting drafted was kind of like a long shot, but I knew that I'd have an opportunity to sign with the team after the draft. So I wasn't necessarily surprised, and I was still happy to be able to even have a shot, because a lot of guys don't even get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just grateful that I got the opportunity to go out there and show what I can do.
So people have talked about this before. When you're an undrafted free agent, it kind of changes the game a little bit, as opposed to, like we were talking about, hearing your name called and knowing, okay, this is where I'm going. You kind of put yourself in a spot where you have options sometimes. Did you have some, I don't want to say bidding war, but did you have multiple teams that you were talking to after the draft?
Yeah, there were a couple of teams that I was talking to, but Detroit just seemed to be the most into me and most eager, and I really liked what they were doing, and I saw myself fitting in that defense and that culture. So that's ultimately why I went with them. But yeah, I was talking to a couple of teams leading up to the draft and during the draft as well.
And pretty cool to have that opportunity for you to be able to pick. So you talked to a team that, as you said, was into you, and you could see them. And on top of that, it's a team that's got a ton of buzz, right? I mean, things are better in Detroit right now than they've been in a long, long time for that franchise.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great season last year, and we're just looking to build on that this year, and hopefully I can be a part of that and make an impact in any way that I can. But, yeah, there's a lot of buzz around the team in Detroit.
Isaac, so what's going on right now? You're in Detroit, and I know you had meetings today, so kind of talk us through the process and what's going on now.
Oh, so actually, I'm not in Detroit. My meeting was over Zoom. I actually go to Detroit tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I'm flying in tomorrow, and then this weekend is rookie minicamp, and that's where a lot of guys who got signed, and then also people who got drafted, and then people who got invited, who got minicamp tryout invites. We just, as far as I know, we're just going to be trying to get acclimated to how they do things, how the coaches coach, the schedules and things like that over the next few days, and showcase what we can do a little bit. And then it'll just lead into the off-season program for the organization.
So I know you don't want to go into anything like this completely blind. Have you talked to guys about, okay, what's rookie camp going to be like? How am I supposed to act? What am I supposed to do? What's it going to be like? Have you gotten any advice?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of my old teammates who are in the NFL right now, some guys who've gone through it, and some coaches, and they've been giving me the rundown on what to expect. And also some of the player engagement people in Detroit from the Lions, they've been really helpful in letting me know what to expect and what I need to bring and how to prepare for what's going to be going on when I get there. So, yeah, I've been reaching out to a lot of people to just get an idea so I could be prepared for what comes forward.
So you talked about seeing yourself in that defense and kind of imagining how you fit into that system. When you're evaluating teams, how much time do you spend looking at the depth chart, looking at guys who are similar to you in terms of the position they play or the position they could play, what their special teams look like, because sometimes that is a path to making a team and having an opportunity?
Yeah, those are all things you got to look at. My agent did a good job of giving me the information and getting a lot of these things, like a lot of information on the teams before the draft. I did a little bit of research myself as well, and then seeing how players who came from your position, an undrafted player, have fared in the past in terms of making the team and or making the practice squad, or how they usually treat those types of players. Those are all things that factor into it, and you just gotta weigh them and then use those to make your decision at the end of the day.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday a little bit. Obviously, the thing that you want is to make the team, right? I mean, that is goal number one.
Yeah.
If you're not able to achieve that goal, the next thing is what you mentioned just a second ago, right? Is making that practice squad, because that's a paid position and that's good money. I mean, it's not necessarily what a rookie in the NFL makes, but that's good money for a first job out of college, and it keeps you in that system, not just for Detroit in your case, but other teams when they're evaluating moves that they make. Have you talked to guys about, okay, obviously I want to make the team. I'm going to do everything I can to make the team. But if that doesn't happen, how important it is to get one of those practice squad spots?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple former teammates who've had to go the practice squad route, and then they got their opportunity to make the active roster the following year. So yeah, obviously I would like to make the team, but if I have to go to the practice squad and grind it out and keep working and keep getting better every day, then I'm not going to shy away from it or feel like I failed in any type of way. I'm just going to go in and keep working towards my goal, which is making a 53 and playing impactful minutes. So I'm not going to they have told me about it. They've talked to me, some of my old teammates have talked to me about how to keep a level head and how to always be intentional with every rep you get, no matter if it's 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps. Even if you're repping in practice, if you're on a practice squad, you've got to be intentional about your reps and know that people are always watching, people are always evaluating, and you never know when you're going to get that call or get that opportunity to go get a spot or take a spot. So you really just got to be on your P's and Q's at all times and not take anything lightly, practice squad or active roster.
Isaac, is there anything, visiting with Isaac Ukwu, who is signed as an undrafted free agent with the Lions, rookie camp begins here in just a couple of days. He's headed to Detroit tomorrow. Is there anything, Isaac, about your football journey that you think maybe uniquely prepares you for this? And I'm just thinking about the injuries your first couple of years at James Madison that you had to fight through. I mean, you deal with that in consecutive years, and there are a lot of guys that be like, you know what, I'm hanging it up, but you didn't do that. You played really well for a couple of years and then took that opportunity to play at Ole Miss in the SEC in your last season, really to try and kind of prove yourself. Is there anything that you've had to go through that thinks you prepares you for this, hey, I've got to go prove to people that I'm good enough as I try to make a team?
Yeah, I think, like you said, those going through those injuries during my time at James Madison, it was before I had established myself as a good football player in college. So I had to, not only did I have to persevere through the injuries, I had to prove myself once I got back that I was still a good player and that I could play at that level. And having to go through that and fight through that and push through, I mean, there's not a lot of things that people can go through football-wise to build up more tougher skin than having 2 back-to-back season-ending injuries. I think it's uniquely prepared me to deal with adversity and deal with tough situations that may arise throughout camp or throughout the season, and just attack everything with like an attitude of gratitude is what I'm really focusing on right now. Just being grateful for all the opportunities that I have, all the chances I have to play football. Even though I had injuries, it made me into the player that I am now. So being able to use that thick skin and that shell that hardened through those injuries, just use that to push forward and take on all these issues and adversity without being really phased.
Isaac, only 30 seconds left. I'm curious if you have a good sense of the position that they're going to want you to play. You moved around and did some different things at Ole Miss and throughout your career. Where do you think they're going to want you in Detroit?
We're going to see. Honestly, it's just wherever I fit the best or wherever they need help. I mean, they need me to hold field goals, I'll be there. It should be wherever. Yeah.
Have you ever held for a field goal before? Have you ever tried that?
Nah, I haven't, but I'll go to camp. I'll go to long snapping camp or something like they be. I heard of a couple players who had to go to long snapping camp and change positions, be a long snapper just to make a roster.
There you go.
I'm willing to do whatever.
Whatever it takes. Isaac, again, congratulations. We enjoyed visiting with you leading up to the draft, and now getting to talk to you as you get set to head off